Bedford, Texas, May 2025. Inside Rock Island Auction Company, hundreds of collectors lean forward as a single revolver takes center stage. It's called Black Action Army, engraved by master craftsman Louis D. Nimschke in 1888. The auctioneer's voice cuts through the tension. Bids climb past 1 million, then past 1.5 million. When the hammer finally drops, the room erupts. Final price, $1.645 million, the second highest price ever paid for a Colt SAA. Some firearms aren't just holding value, they're shattering records. This is their story. Firearms as investments. The data is undeniable. Rock Island Auction Company realized over $126 million in sales in 2025. That's up 8.8% from 2024. The firearms market isn't cooling, it's accelerating. Military surplus, vintage revolvers, classic sporting rifles, rare pistols, all climbing in value while traditional investments stagnate. We're counting down 12 firearms rising in value in 2026. These aren't speculation. These are documented appreciations, verified auction results, market data that proves firearms can outperform gold, stocks, and bonds. Let's begin. Number 12, Mosin Nagant, from $59 to $500. Starting at number 12, we have the Mosin Nagant rifle, the ultimate appreciation story. The Mosin Nagant was Russia's standard infantry rifle from 1891 through World War II. Millions were manufactured. For years, surplus importers sold them for pocket change. Big Five Sporting Goods advertised them for $59. Those days are gone. Import restrictions from Russia tightened after 2014. The well dried up. Supply collapsed. Now decent Mosin Nagants sell for $300 to $500. That's 746% appreciation from the 59 days. A rifle you bought for less than a tank of gas is now worth multiple tanks. Even common military surplus appreciates when supply constraints hit. The Mosin Nagant proves a fundamental principle. Scarcity drives value. When imports end, prices rise. Simple economics. Collectors who stocked up in the $59 era are sitting on serious appreciation. Why does this matter for 2026? Because other surplus rifles follow the same pattern. When supply ends, appreciation begins. The Mosin Nagant is the canary in the coal mine for military surplus values. Number 11, SPAS 12 Shotgun, the Hollywood effect. Number 11 is the SPAS 12 Shotgun. Pop culture drives value. The franchise SPAS 12 was produced from 1979 to 2000. It offered both pump action and semi-automatic operation. The folding stock made it instantly recognizable. Then Hollywood discovered it. Terminator, Jurassic Park, countless action films. The SPAS 12 became an icon. That exposure created collector demand. Rock Island Auction tracked SPAS 12 values from 2016 to 2024. The result? Dramatic upward price trend. Recent Blue Book values confirm continued appreciation. Production ended in 2000. Import restrictions limited supply. Movie fame drives demand. The combination creates sustained appreciation. SPAS 12 shotguns that sold for $800 in 2016 now command $1,500 or more. The SPAS 12 proves modern firearms don't need decades to become valuable. Discontinuation plus pop culture recognition equals appreciation. For collectors in 2026, discontinued firearms with media exposure represent opportunity. Number 10, SVT-40 rifle. The Soviet star. At number 10, we have the SVT-40 rifle, Russian imports that skyrocketed. The SVT-40 was a Soviet semi-automatic rifle used in World War II. It saw combat from 1940 to 1945. German forces captured thousands and prized them for accuracy. The appreciation is staggering. Rock Island auction data shows SVT-40 values hovering around $2,000 in 2018 to 2019. By 2022, the average reached $3,493. That's 74.7% appreciation in 4 years. A rifle you could find for under $1,000 a decade ago now commands $3,500. Gold returned approximately 40% in the same period. The SVT-40 nearly doubled gold's performance. Why the surge? Russian import restrictions after 2014 cut supply. Growing collector interest in Soviet military history drove demand. The SVT-40's reputation for accuracy created shooter appeal. All three factors combined to push prices higher. Finding an all-matching SVT-40 in excellent condition is increasingly difficult. That scarcity continues driving prices upward. For collectors who bought in 2018, the returns are extraordinary. Number 9. Winchester Model 70 Pre-64, America's bolt action. Number 9 is the Winchester Model 70 Pre-64, the rifleman's choice. Produced from 1936 to 1964, these rifles featured controlled round feed action, hand-cut checkering, and meticulous machining. Winchester changed the design in 1964 to reduce costs. That decision created instant collectability. Only about 50,000 collector-quality Pre-64 Model 70s exist today. Most have been modified, refinished, or damaged. True collector examples become scarcer yearly. Current values reflect this scarcity. Pre-64 Model 70s in excellent condition range from $900 to over $3,000. Supergrade and featherweight variants command premiums. Early examples in rare calibers like .220 Swift can reach $7,500. Recent data shows steady appreciation. Used Pre-64 Model 70s rose $115 over 12 months, 7.5% annual return. That matches or exceeds stock market averages. The Pre-64 Model 70 demonstrates how production changes create value. When manufacturers alter classic designs, earlier models appreciate. Collectors recognize quality. They pay premiums for craftsmanship that no longer exists. Number 8. M1 Garand, General Patton's favorite. At number 8, we have the M1 Garand, the greatest battle implement ever devised. The M1 Garand was adopted in 1936. First semi-automatic rifle issued to infantry. Over 5.4 million manufactured through 1957. It helped win World War II. Values have surged significantly. Average M1 Garand is currently worth $1,664 new and $1,528 used, up $120 and $25 respectively over 12 months. Rock Island auction data shows M1 Garand prices more than doubled from 2010 to 2022. CMP rifles that cost $600 in 2005 now sell for $1,900 or more. That's 217% appreciation in 20 years. Manufacturer matters dramatically. Winchester produced only 513,880 rifles from 1943 to 1945. Winchester Garands command $500 to $1,000 premiums over comparable Springfields. CMP grading creates price tiers. Field grade starts around $750. Service grade ranges $850 to $1,200. Expert grade commands $1,500 to $2,000. Collector grade with 95% original finish can exceed $3,000. Supply is absolutely finite. No new M1 Garands are manufactured. CMP stocks are dwindling. As World War II veterans pass away, fewer family heirlooms enter the market. Demand remains strong from collectors, shooters, and video game enthusiasts. The M1 Garand exemplifies how historical significance drives sustained appreciation. This rifle changed warfare. That legacy ensures continued collector demand. Current 2024 to 2025 market conditions favor M1 Garands. As Gun Digest reported, wealthy collectors are returning to historical firearms as inflation hedges. Military arms from World War I and World War II saw particularly strong demand throughout 2024. The CMP's limited inventory creates urgency among buyers. Video game exposure drives younger collector interest. Call of Duty featured the M1 Garand prominently. That exposure introduced millions to the rifle's distinctive ping sound when the clip ejects. Younger collectors who grew up gaming now seek the real thing. The M1 Garand market in 2026 benefits from multiple demand sources. Traditional collectors, World War II history enthusiasts, competitive shooters, and gaming-influenced younger buyers. When demand comes from multiple demographics, appreciation accelerates. Number 7. Mauser K98K, German precision. Number 7 is the Mauser K98K, Germany's finest bolt action. The Carabiner 98K was adopted in 1935, featured 23-inch barrel and improved sights. Considered the last great combat bolt-action rifle, served from 1935 through 1945, current values range widely based on condition and manufacturer. Standard K98K rifles in good condition sell for $800 to $1,500. All matching examples with original finish command $1,500 to $3,500. Recent data shows steady appreciation. Average used K98,000 is worth $913, up $78 over 12 months. That's 9.3% annual appreciation, better than bonds, competitive with stocks. Early war K98K rifles are most valuable. Manufactured from 1935 to 1942, these featured polished parts and careful finishing. Collector demand focuses on craftsmanship. Early examples show meticulous German engineering. Manufacturer codes significantly affect value. Mauser Oberndorf rifles, BIF code, are highly desirable. Steyr Daimler Puch, B&Z code, and JP Sauer, CE code, variants command premiums. Rare makers like Krieghoff can exceed $5,000. The K98K's appeal is international. American collectors prize World War II history. European collectors appreciate German engineering. Asian collectors seek military heritage. Global demand supports strong prices. Supply is fixed. Values trend upward as collectors compete for quality examples. Number 6. Luger P08, the toggle lock icon. At number 6, we have the Luger P08, history's most recognizable handgun. The Luger P08 was adopted by Germany in 1908. Served through both World Wars. Approximately 1.7 million produced. The toggle lock action and graceful lines make it instantly iconic. Current values reflect strong collector demand. Average used Luger P08 pistols are worth $1,757, up $214 over 12 months. That's 13.9% annual appreciation, exceptional returns for collectibles. But averages don't tell the full story. Rare variants command dramatically more. The Black Widow Luger, produced by Mauser in 1941 to 1942, with all-black finish and bakelite grips, can reach $3,826 with matching numbers. WWI Imperial German Lugers with unit markings sell for $2,000 to $5,000. Artillery models with 8-inch barrels exceed $3,000. Commercial DWM Lugers in .30 Luger caliber are scarce and valuable. Matching numbers are absolutely critical. All matching Lugers command 50 to 100% premiums over mismatched examples. A Black Widow with mismatched numbers might sell for $1,800. An all-matching example reaches $3,800. The Luger P08 proves iconic design creates lasting value. This pistol represents peak German engineering. Collectors worldwide compete for quality examples. Demand ensures continued appreciation. Number 5. M1941 Johnson Rifle, the underdog's triumph. Number 5 is the M1941 Johnson Rifle, history's overlooked masterpiece. Melvin Johnson designed this rifle as an alternative to the M1 Garand. Featured 10-round rotary magazine and recoil-operated action. The Marine Corps used limited numbers in World War II. Only about 30,000 were manufactured. The appreciation is extraordinary. Rock Island auction data shows M1941 Johnson rifles increased over 200% from 2015 to 2024. Rifles that sold for $3,000 in 2015 now command $9,000 or more. A pristine example recently sold for $141,000 at Rock Island auction. That's an exceptional result reflecting exceptional condition. But even standard examples show dramatic appreciation. Why the surge? Extreme rarity. Only 30,000 produced versus 5.4 million Garands. Historical significance. The Johnson represents the road not taken, an alternative approach to semi-automatic design. Marine Corps heritage. Units that carried Johnsons into combat created provenance. Finding an M1941 Johnson is challenging. Most are in established collections. When examples appear at auction, collectors compete aggressively. The combination of scarcity and historical significance creates unstoppable demand. The Johnson rifle proves rarity trumps production numbers. Even excellent firearms fade if too common. Scarcity creates value. The Johnson's limited production ensures continued appreciation. Number 4. Colt Python. Second-year mystique. At number 4, we have second-year Colt Pythons, America's finest revolver. The Colt Python was introduced in 1955, featured hand-fitted actions, ventilated ribs, and legendary accuracy. Production continued until 1999, resumed in 2020. But second-year 1956 Pythons hold special appeal. The appreciation is remarkable. Second-year production Pythons nearly doubled in value since 2016. Average used price is $1,014. Early examples in mint condition can exceed $3,000. Why do early Pythons command premiums? Quality was highest. Hand fitting was meticulous. Finish was impeccable. Later production saw gradual quality decline as Colt sought efficiency. A mint condition 1956 Python in original box can exceed $3,000. 6-inch barrels are most desirable. Royal blue finish is preferred over nickel. Original grips and factory paperwork add significant value. The Python's reputation for accuracy drives shooter demand. Movie appearances, Magnum Force, The Walking Dead created pop culture cachet. Collectors prize early examples for quality. All three factors support strong prices. Python values demonstrate how brand reputation drives appreciation. Colt built the Python to be the finest revolver available. That excellence ensures continued collector interest and rising values. Number 3. Colt Boa, the rarest snake. Number 3 is the Colt Boa, rarest of Colt's snake guns. Only 1,200 Colt Boas were manufactured, all in 1985. They were custom shop revolvers built on Python frames, chambered in .357 Magnum. The limited production made them instantly collectible. The appreciation is staggering. From 2015 to 2024, Colt Boa values increased 236%. A Boa that sold for $3,000 in 2015 now commands $10,000 or more. That's 236% appreciation in 9 years. Gold returned approximately 40% in the same period. The Colt Boa outperformed gold by 494%. Few investments match these returns. Why such dramatic appreciation? Extreme rarity. Only 1,200 exist. Custom shop quality, Python-level craftsmanship with even more exclusivity, snake gun mystique. Collectors covet Colt's Python, Cobra, King Cobra, Diamondback, and Anaconda. The Boa is rarest of all. Finding a Colt Boa for sale is exceptionally difficult. Most owners recognize the value and hold. When examples appear at auction, bidding wars erupt. The combination of rarity, quality, and Colt heritage creates unstoppable demand. The Colt Boa exemplifies how extreme scarcity drives extreme appreciation. With only 1,200 produced and growing collector demand, values continue climbing. For collectors who bought in 2015, the returns are phenomenal. Number 2, Black Beauty, the $1.645 million Colt. At number 2, we have Black Beauty, the Colt that broke records. May 2025. Rock Island Auction Company, Bedford, Texas. Colt Single Action Army, serial number 126506 crosses the podium. The room falls silent as bidding passes $1 million. When the hammer falls, Black Beauty has sold for $1.645 million. Second highest price ever paid for a Colt Single Action Army. What makes a revolver worth $1.645 million? First, it's a Colt SAA, the gun that won the West, internationally recognized icon. Second, the engraving. Louis D. Nimschke engraved Black Beauty in 1888 at the zenith of his career. R.L. Wilson notes that Nimschke rarely used gold inlay. Black Beauty features more gold than any other Nimschke piece, extensive gold bands, borders, and inlaid scrollwork covering the frame, barrel, and grip. Third, the provenance. Engraved for Mexican President José Manuel del Refugio González Flores in 1888. Royal presentation piece with documented history. Fourth, the condition. Nearly pristine after 137 years. Minimal handling wear. Original finish preserved. The combination creates unprecedented value. This isn't just a firearm, it's art, history, engineering, all in one piece. Black Beauty represents the ultimate collectible, rarity, quality, provenance, and condition all converging. The 2004 owners, Brigg and Louise Pemberton, held Black Beauty for 21 years before the May 2025 auction. That patience paid extraordinary dividends. Black Beauty proves elite collectibles continue appreciating at auction. The May 2025 auction was part of Rock Island Auction Company's 3-day premier event that realized $28 million total. Black Beauty served as the flagship lot. Attendees previewed it the day before. The excitement was palpable. When Black Beauty crossed the $1 million threshold during bidding, the room fell silent. Only the auctioneer's voice broke the tension. Collectors held their breath. How high would it go? The answer, $1.645 million. Second only to a Colt Patterson that achieved higher. Black Beauty's success reflects broader 2024 to 2025 market trends. Engraved Colts are commanding record prices. Factory engraved pieces are exceptionally rare. Only about 1% of first-generation SAAS featured factory engraving. Nimschke's work is even rarer. When masterworks surface, prices shatter expectations. Number 1, King Louis, 13, wheel lock, the $881,250 record. At number 1, we have a wheel lock from King Louis XIII's cabinet d'armes. The ultimate appreciation story. August 2024, Rock Island Auction Company. A wheel lock firearm from King Louis XIII of France crosses the podium. When bidding ends, it is sold for $881,250, world record for a wheel-lock firearm. King Louis XIII, nicknamed Louis l'Arquebusier, was Europe's first true arms collector. He studied, disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled his firearms. His cabinet d'armes was legendary. This wheel-lock represents the pinnacle of European gun-making artistry, extensively ornamented with gold and silver, signed FP by the maker, one of the earliest pieces in the French monarch's collection. In 1973, a wheel lock from the same collection sold for $300,000. Frank E. Bivens Jr. remarked, "When someone pays $300,000 for a firearm, it's history." 51 years later, another piece from the same collection set a new world record at $881,250. That's 194% appreciation from 1973 to 2024. Adjusted for inflation, the return is still extraordinary. Elite historical firearms continue appreciating generation after generation. The King Louis XIII wheel lock proves historical significance creates limitless value. This isn't just a firearm, it's a piece of European royal history, a masterwork of 17th century artistry, a connection to one of history's greatest collectors. When provenance, artistry, condition, and historical significance converge, value knows no ceiling. The King Louis XIII wheellock sets the standard for what collectible firearms can achieve. 12 firearms, 12 stories of appreciation, from 59 Mosin Nagants to 881,250 royal wheellocks. What drives firearms appreciation? Scarcity, historical significance, quality, provenance, pop culture impact, all play roles. The firearms market is accelerating, not cooling. Rock Island Auction Company realized $126 million in 2025, up 8.8% from 2024. The M1941 Johnson increased 200% from 2015 to 2024. The Colt Boa surged 236% in 9 years. The SVT-40 jumped 74.7% in 4 years. Black Beauty sold for $1,645,000 in May 2025. The King Louis XIII wheellock set a world record at $881,250 in August 2024. These aren't flukes, these are market trends. Should you invest in firearms? That depends. Firearms require knowledge. Authentication matters. Condition is critical. Storage is important. Legal compliance is mandatory. But for collectors who do their homework, firearms offer tangible history that appreciates over time. The data is clear. Quality firearms appreciate. Military surplus appreciates. Rare revolvers appreciate. Historical pieces appreciate. When supply is fixed and demand grows, prices rise. Simple economics. Black Beauty proved a point. A revolver engraved in 1888 became a $1.645 million investment in 2025. That's 137 years of appreciation. No stock achieved that. No bond matched it. No precious metal came close. Firearms aren't just weapons. They're artifacts. History you can hold. Engineering you can appreciate. Art you can display. And in 2026, that history is appreciating faster than gold. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. What firearms do you think will appreciate next? Comment below. We'll see you next time.